For joining us onward now on a day the United States and the UK have been reaching trade deals meant for impactful transformation of both economies. President Trump met with UK Prime Minister. Both men addressed journalists and business leaders at the Chequers, the country's estate of the UK Prime Minister. Let's bring you details in this report.
The US President Donald Trump today met with the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer at his country estate at the Chequers as his state visit shifts from royal pageantry to political talks. The leaders held a joint news conference which involved talks on a US-UK technology deal. At a session with business leaders, Prime Minister Keir Starmer told them that both sides have discussed a nuclear power agreement that will drive down bills, generate power for millions of businesses, as well as drive up security on both sides of the Atlantic. Mr. Starmer described the US as his country's single biggest trading partner, emphasizing that together the US and the UK support over 2.5 million jobs across both economies. Talks between both men unveiled a $205 billion package of U.S. investment into Britain. The deals between both nations are to cover areas such as technology, energy, and life sciences. Yesterday, President Trump delivered a speech during a state banquet in his honor at the Windsor Castle in England. Mr. Trump commended King Charles III for his environmentalism and his efforts in uplifting the poor. He said being invited for a second state visit to the UK was one of the highest honors of his life. He also commended the special relationship between Britain and America, describing the British monarch as a great gentleman and a great king.
The British Empire laid the foundations of law, liberty, free speech, and individual rights virtually everywhere the Union Jack has ever flown, including a place called America. We must defend the exceptional heritage that makes us who we are, and we must continue to stand for the values and the people of the English-speaking world, and we do indeed stand for that. On behalf of all Americans, I offer a toast to one of the great friendships, to two great countries, and to His Majesty, King Charles III, a very, very special man, and also a very, very special queen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with you.
Joining me from Abuja to discuss the significance of President Trump's visit to the United Kingdom is Global Affairs Analyst Dr. Jide Ojo. Good to have you join us at this time. We've seen President Trump quite receptive to the welcome by the UK. In his remark, King Charles specifically referred to the support for Ukraine. Do you think these kind of celebrations have a binding influence on Trump, bearing results later as time passes?
Well, I should think so. It's time to enjoy some kind of backslapping, and the two countries are actually leaders across the globe. Incidentally, President Donald Trump has made allusion to the fact that British Empire included what we now know as US for 176 years. The United Kingdom actually colonized some of the places we now call the United States of America, and only got full independence in 1783. So the influence of the two countries cannot be overemphasized across the globe, whether on issues around Ukraine or even issues in terms of Gaza and other hotspots across the globe. But suffice to say that this visit is more for the economic benefit of both countries. They are talking of AI infrastructure in trillions of dollars, trillions of pounds. I think what I read is about 11 trillion pounds investment on AI infrastructure from some tech companies from US, the civil nuclear power that will help drive down the cost of electricity in UK, as well as some other technological support. But it's also very instructive that a colony, a country that was formerly colonized, is now the one assisting and supporting the colonial master in area of technological advancements, AI infrastructure, and all of that, which is why Nigeria, for instance, does not have an excuse. Yes, Nigeria was also a former colony of UK for over 100 years, but what have we been able to do on our own in the 65 years we've been independent? US is a golden example that, yes, you may have been conquered sometime in the past. 176 years of colonialism is not a joke, but they have shaken up the toga. And today, even America has its own style of English, which is called American English. But unfortunately for Nigeria and many African countries that are former colonies of UK, we are still tied to the apron string of UK in terms of trade support, investment, technology, military support.
Let's look at the body language. I'm hoping you can hear me. Let's look at the body language of some of the politicians in the United Kingdom at the moment to Trump's visit. The Green Party leader, Zach Polanski, released a statement saying that we should not be rolling out a red carpet for Trump at this time. We all know Trump likes flattery. Do you think this is going to really help the United Kingdom with Trump perhaps listening to their demands, or you think he's going to see right through this?
Well, it's not that easy to answer, but whatever anybody says, who does not like flattery among world leaders? Even Donald Trump has to flatter Putin just about a month ago during his state visit to Alaska. Look at the way Putin was hosted to a red carpet reception. You never would have thought that possible by an American president, but it happened. So some backslapping, some camaraderie, some flattery, it's also part of the international diplomacy. You don't want to just continue to squeeze face. Of course, it's not on all matters that UK and US will agree. I recall that UK has alongside with some European countries, have decided to recognize Palestine during this year's UN General Assembly, that they will be recognizing Palestine. So it means that on issue of Gaza and issue of Palestinian struggle, they do not agree. But that's not to say that because they don't agree on one issue, they cannot agree on other issues, or that something that would be mutually beneficial should not be explored. So the opposition will always have their own say, but majority will always have their own way. So that's my own take about what the Green Party is saying. It's not enough to just pontificate. What are the alternatives that they are preferring? Do they have better alternatives? Can you actually wish away the U.S. influence in global politics of today? Right. Even though we are more or less back to bipolar world after the USSR dissolution in the 90s, which made the world to be kind of unipolar. But we are back to not even bipolar. We now have powerful blocs like the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, and China. So it's what it is. And the contemporary global diplomacy, you have to do some flattery, some lobby, some ad notes. Even the same Donald Trump imposed some tariff hike on UK goods early in the year. Just that it's not as high as what he put on Russia and India and China. But that's not to say that on all matters they cannot still see eye to eye. They can still not negotiate and trade and invest in each other's country.
And despite both sides saying it is sort of a personal visit to a friend, that's Keir Starmer at this time, they signed a Czech partnership, and Starmer has said this is one of the biggest investment package of its kind in British history, irrespective of position and how this looks. Do you think there are concerns that the UK, rather than being a bridge builder, is being used as a political backdrop?
Interesting. You see, at the end of the day, every country is self-serving. Donald Trump is doing American first, and like he said at that event yesterday, that America has gained about 17 trillion in tariff hike, and which has helped to boost the economy, that the US economy is doing great. The same way that Starmer will want to have a part of the pie, and that's what he's doing by inviting Donald Trump to come around, let them dialogue, let them explore areas of competitive advantage, let them see how some tech companies in US can help improve their own AI ecosystem, AI infrastructure. And so it's a kind of mutually beneficial visit. And it's very significant. I think many of us, many of our African leaders should take a cue from what's happening between Donald Trump and Starmer. Yes, they don't agree on all issues. Sometimes they do disagree. On the issue of Ukraine, I think Starmer and many European countries want US to tighten the rope around Putin's neck, but they are not seeing much of that happening, which is why Putin is still dropping drones and bombs on Ukraine, and they have not been able to reach a ceasefire. But you know, at the end of the day, the UK economy needs to be bolstered. They need a lot of more foreign investment to keep their economy afloat. And if that investment can come from US, so be it. You know, you fight and run away, live to fight another day. Even if they are at the area of disagreement, they can always iron that at diplomatic level. But the most important thing to UK now, given the fact that it has also experienced some kind of political instability in the recent past, having 4 or 5 prime ministers in the last 6 years, they also want to have some economic and political stability. And while they are fending for Russia, while they are fending for Ukraine, they also must have their own pulse replenished. Right. They don't also want to be empty, because they don't also want to risk political instability within the confines of their own boundaries. So it's all part of the international relations game. It's part of the international global diplomacy. And I think there is a lot of lessons for African leaders in all of this.
All right. Wait till to see how this plays out for Starmer's leadership domestically after President Trump returns. Both sides are holding a press briefing to give us an update as to what would happen in the United Kingdom and the U.S. Moving forward. But that's a fine place to leave the conversation for now. Thank you for talking to us. Global Affairs Analyst Dr. Jide Ojo, live for us in Abuja. Thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me. Keep safe and stay blessed.